Awesome. So Abdulateef is an NFT trader and a blockchain enthusiast. He's a DeFi and NFT lover. He has recently developed a special interest in his health because without a healthy life, he realizes that humans are not effective in carrying out daily activities, including himself. And so in this presentation, we're going to learn more about how to improve your health condition in order to have a better immune system. Remember, health is wealth in his opinion, and I'll let him take the floor. Abdulateef, you can present whenever you're ready.
Yeah, hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, anywhere you are connecting from. Yeah, thanks, Jackie. Thanks for the short presentation. I appreciate that. Yeah, so as you said earlier, I'm Abdulateef, but you can call me Latsan, that's my alias. Then she has done the short introduction about me, so I don't need to go into that again. So I'll be talking about maintaining an healthy diet and sponsored by Covalent Workshop. And the first thing we're going to be looking at is what is diet. So I won't be giving room for question presently because this is a workshop. Probably after the presentation, there'll be room for question, or you can ask me on any of my social media, which I'll be dropping at the end of the presentation. So what is a diet? Diet evolves over time, being influenced by many social and economic factors that interact in a complex manner to shape individual dietary pattern. And if we're looking about the factors, what are the factors that affect the diet? The factors that affect the diet, it can be the money, it can be price, it can be availability and affordability of the food. It can be individual preferences, like what you might like, you might not be able to get it, or cultural tradition. Then, therefore, promoting an healthy diet in an environment, including there must be a good food system and an healthy diet requires by multi-sectors such as the stakeholders, including government and public-private sectors. So that means for us to maintain an healthy diet, we need to understand some little facts, which I'm going to be explaining now. Number one, be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself in what sense? While having a meal, or let's say you want to maintain an healthy diet, the pace at which you eat will influence the rate at which you eat, or the rate at which you gain more weight. I mean this in the sense that, okay, for example, let's say if you notice probably while you are extremely hungry and probably you rush to a booker or a cafeteria to get a meal, the next thing you will see that you consume a lot because the rate at which you're eating is going to be fast. So you consume a lot, you're eating fast. Probably, let's say you're the one that used to take probably a hamburger of probably $10. Can be taking hamburger of $10 in 3 different places. That's 3 rounds. So that means you're eating more than what you're supposed to be eating. So the pace at which you eat influence how much you eat, and as well, it will influence your appetite. So be gentle with yourself while eating. However, it takes about 20 minutes for your brain to receive the messages, probably while you are full or not. So you should be gentle with yourself while eating. If not, before your brain will send a message to you that probably you're okay, you'll have eaten more than you're supposed to consume normally. So eating slowly is also linked to more chewing. So if you are eating slowly, you'll be able to chew your food properly, and that one will aid your digestion. So simply eating slowly and chewing slowly help you to eat less. Number two, make sure you are taking egg as your breakfast. I'm advise you to take egg as a breakfast. It has helped me, and I've also done a lot of research about it. Eggs are incredibly healthy, especially if you eat them in the morning. There is a rich and high quality protein, many essential nutrients, and more often people don't get enough of these strengths. While taking egg in the morning, it increases the feelingness of fulfillment. This helps you to have more strength, probably to work. You'll be more effective in the day. Then, for people that are trying to probably reduce their weight, if you are taking egg in the morning, if you discover that before you start feeling probably you want to eat or something, to be around probably 12 or 1. By that, you are eating less, and it will aid slow feeding, and it will help you to reduce your feeding link. So eating egg helps to aid an healthy diet. For example, let's say 50 people found that eating eggs is for breakfast and reduce their hunger and decrease the amount of calories. So simply replacing your current breakfast with egg may result in major benefits for your health. Number 3, increase your protein intake. Yeah, so everybody knows that protein aids our growth, but the question is, are we taking enough protein? Protein is often referred to as the king of nutrients, and it does not have any superpowers. Due to its stability, it affects some hunger and satisfy hormone. It is often considered as most filling of macronutrients. For example, if you notice, let's say you take protein, you just notice that you'll be taking water and you'll be taking water, you'll be taking water. Before you feel hungry in the next, it might take hours. So with that, yeah, isn't eating less again. Back to number 1. Protein also help you to retain muscle masses, and they are slightly increased in number of calories you burn per day. It is also important for preventing the loss of muscle mass that can occur with weight loss as you are growing age. If you are trying to lose your weight, then you can start adding some source of protein to each meal and snack. Make sure your food and the snack, they are very proteinous in nature. Then it will help you to feel fuller for longer period of time and curb craving for food from time to time and makes you overeat. Number 4, drink enough water. So for number 4, is drink enough water. We know we should be taking enough water to aid our digestion. Drinking water is enough importance for your health. It has a lot of importance for yourself. We all know that drinking water is very important. So I've made some research and I came out that drinking water before meals reduces the appetite and the food you take during the following meal. So you are taking water, you will notice that probably at the end of the day, if you are consuming $20 of meal, if you can take water probably 20 to 30 minutes before you are eating, you notice that what you are eating starts reducing, and with that, you'll be able to eat less. So the most important thing is to drink water instead of taking other beverages. If you notice, probably most times if you take a beverage, you notice that at the end of the day, you still need water. But if you take water first, you don't need beverage. So that means if you are thirsty, it's only water that can quench your thirst. So drinking water regularly may also be linked to improve a quality diet and maintaining your diet, and could also decrease your calories intake from beverages. So our advice, you should reduce your beverage intake and increase your water intake. Number 5, eat your grains first. Before taking any meal, you might decide to, before taking any meal, you can decide to take some grains, and you notice also that you are eating less at the end of the day. Proteins are often Protein are often considered like while eating your grains, you get a lot of more proteins and you have more energy to work. A good way to ensure that you eat your grains is to enjoy them as a starter. By doing so, you will also be likely to finish your grains and you won't be hungry probably at the end of the day. Let's say now you went to a cafeteria and you're hungry, you can just request for some grains and that is going to be what you are going to take first. Then after that, you will notice that you'll be able to eat much. You just eat something few and take enough water, and you discover that you're okay. So taking your grains, it may lead you to eat fewer and healthier calories overall, which could result in weight loss. Plus, eating vegetables before your food, it is beneficial to your body and can reduce blood sugar. Grain slows down the speed at which carbs and absorb into the bloodstream and benefits for both long and strong stream blood sugar. So by taking enough grains, probably you are preventing yourself from blood sugar diseases or any other diseases. Then another thing, taking your grains, especially when you are hungry more, it will aid your digestion. It will increase your immune system, and in case of any future disease, you are able to be able to fight them. For example, during the COVID-19 that went viral, though there is still COVID, most people, the major reason why they said COVID-19 affects adults more is because if you compare the children immunity and the adult immunity, you discover that the children has more immune system. Their immune system is stronger than the adults. So, but if you're an adult and your immune system is also strong, even if you are tested positive, you'll still be able to withstand it and you'll be active and people will be like, is this person COVID positive? Because you will be okay, and at the end of the day, if you do the right food, you test negative in 2 to 3 weeks time. So number 6, eat your foods instead of drinking them. So eating your foods instead of drinking them will help you to gain enough, nutrients from the food, because fruits are loaded with water, fiber, and vitamins and antioxidants. So regularly eating of fruits tends to reduce the risk of several health conditions such as heart disease, type 2 cancer, and diabetes. And at the end of the day, you are also strengthening your immune system. Because fruits contain fiber and various plant compounds, their natural sugars are generally digested very slow and don't cause major spike in blood sugar level. However, the same doesn't apply to fruit juice. So many drinks are not made from real fruits. You can just extract a little amount from the fruit and they will add a lot of sugar or any other sweeteners and add enough milk and your fruit juice is ready. So at the end of the day, the fruit juice is not serving what it's supposed to serve. Some varieties may even contain as much as creamy products or sugary soft drinks, and you'll be like, this drink is too sweet. So at the end of the day, the fruit juice is not serving what it's supposed to do. So eat your fruits instead of drinking them. Even the real fruit juice lack the fiber chewing resistance provided by the whole fruits. That is the real fruit juice. This makes fruit juice more likely and spike your blood sugar level, leading you to consume too much in a single sitting. But if you are taking your fruits, if you are eating it, you will notice that you will be consuming less. Number 7, Replace your sugar beverages with water. I think I said something related to this number 4. Okay. So sugar beverages might possibly be an healthiest thing you can be drinking, but you're enjoying it, but you don't know it's killing you gradually, and which might lead to heart disease, obesity, type 2, diabetics, and so many more. They are loaded with a lot of sugar and sweeteners, which has been linked to a lot of numerous diseases. Because the added sugar found in these drinks doesn't impact appetites the same way as regular food does. This means that you don't compensate your calories, you drink them by eating less. So, based on research and what I've done, I will advise you to place your beverages with an healthy, sugar-free alternative, or simply choose a water. Doing this will shave off the non-beneficial calories and reduce the intake of excess sugar because we just need little calories for us to make us fit. We don't need too much calories. Number 8, eat fresh berries instead of dry ones. The major reason why I said eat fresh berries instead of dry ones is that both they have the nutrients they are supplying to the body, but I'm going to be explaining the difference between the two now. If you notice, the fresh is the dried one. They got the dried berries from the fresh berries. Definitely, that means it's the fresh berries that they are drying into dry ones. So during the process of drying the fresh berries, a lot of water is being absorbed from the fruits, from the berry. So as they are absorbing a lot of water, that means the content will get more concentrated. So berries are very healthy and packed with nutrient fiber and antioxidants. Most varieties can purchase them fresh, frozen, and dried from the market. Though the dried ones, they are more concentrated and the source of calories and sugar, since the water has been removed, virtually 70 to 80% of the water has been extracted already. So the right varieties are covered with sugar and further increasing your sugar content, which you are running for. So by opting from these fresh varieties, you'll be able to get as much juicier snacks that will allow in sugar and contain your fewer calories, which we are chasing. Number 9, drink your coffee black. Some of us take coffee in the morning. Some of us take coffee to eat as a stimulant. Some of us just take it when we are quenching for it. So anyhow, I would advise you to drink your coffee black because there are a lot of coffees that you'll be seeing coffee like 3-in-1, 5-in-1. Almost all these coffees, they've added a lot of sweeteners that and we are running from them. Sweeteners, creamy components, and that's not what we want. So coffee, which is one of the most popular beverage in the world, it is very healthy, no doubt about that. It is the major source of antioxidant and has linked to many health benefits such as low risk to type 2 diabetics and liver diseases. However, commercial varieties of coffee contain a lot of additional ingredients such as sugar, syrup, heavy cream, and sweeteners. Drinking these varieties quickly negates all the coffee health benefits and instead they add a lot of extra sugar and calories to your body system. Therefore, I would advise us to take our coffee black. it might be bitter. If it's bitter, just add a lot of a tiny sugar. Just add a little sugar, and probably if you're still not okay, you can add your milk yourself. Don't take the processed one, all the 3-in-1, 5-in-1, all those ones. So if it's still bitter, you can add sugar to your tastes and probably a little milk and enjoy your coffee like that. But then choose healthy oil. While cooking, there are a lot of oils that people are using to cook. So probably if you are not the one cooking, you can tell your cook to change the oil the person is using. You can swap your oil to healthy alternatives such as extra virgin oil, olive oil, avocado oil, or coconut oil. And with this, you will notice the taste in what you are cooking, and you notice that you are feeding well, because there are a lot of oils that they are just to add calories, and at the end of the day, it might end up causing obesity to your body. So these are you can take a screenshot of the oil, probably the oil I'll be recommending. You can take the extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or coconut oil. I think coconut oil is kind of more sweeter. So number 11, don't shop without a list. Shopping with a list, if you are going to be shopping with a list, it will make your work more faster. Then aside from making the work faster, you'll be able to shop what you need and not wasting money on other things. So exactly, while if you are shopping with a list, that means you've made a list of everything you need and make sure your shop list ahead of the time. Excuse me. So make sure your shopping list is ahead of the time, and make sure you are not hungry while you're going for a shopping, because if you are hungry, you just rush to the market and come back so that you can quickly get something to eat. So I'll be identifying some strategy to plan ahead. So if you are going for a shopping, write down what you need. By doing this, once you get to the market, you'll be sticking to your list. You only buy what you need, and you end up saving more money. It won't be like, do I need this thing or not? No, I don't need it. Then you start deliberating, and at the end of the day, you might end up buying what you don't need, and you are wasting money like that. If you are going to the grocery store, I would like to say probably you can go to grocery store 1 to 2 times in a week. Don't buy what you need from the grocery stores. Don't buy what you need in a month from the grocery stores, because you need most of these components. You need them very fresh. So going to grocery stores once or twice per week will help you ensure you have healthy choice in your fridge, whereas a well-stocked kitchen and refrigerator makes choosing healthy meals and snacks much easier and faster. If your kitchen is very stacked up, once you enter the kitchen, you'll be able to decide as fast as possible, like what should I eat, and so that you can have time to do another thing. Don't forget, the major reason why we're having this coffee workshop is so that we can have a healthy living life, and everything will not just be blockchain. Because if we are not healthy enough, we won't be able to do anything on the blockchain. So when you are going to a grocery shopping, you can go through these lists. You can get some fresh and frozen fruits and veggies. You can get protein source like chicken, egg, fish, and tofu. Bulk carb sauce like canned beans and whole grains. Starchy veggie like white potatoes, sweet potatoes, butternut squash. Fat sauce like avocados, olive oil, for your oil and full fat yogurts. Can also get nutritious, simple snacks ingredients like nuts, seeds, and almost olive oil and dried one. And make sure you are keeping all these items in your refrigerator. That's your fridge, depending on how you call it. Avoid putting most of these components inside your freezer. Number 12, bake or roast instead of grilling or frying. You'll be like, why should I bake? Why can't I roast? Or why can't I be grilling? And I'm saying it again. Try to make sure you are baking or roasting instead of grilling or frying. The way you prepare your food or the way your meals are being prepared, that means if you are not the one preparing your food, probably you have a cook or you're buying food, will affect your health. It will tell on your health. It will tell on your health in the sense that grilling, boiling, frying, deep frying are popular methods of preparing meals. But however, doing these types of cooking, several potential toxic compounds are formed. And these are the compounds that are formed. We have the likes of polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon, advanced glycation end product, and heterocyclic amines. This product might be developed during the process of cooking and healthy cooking, such as baking, boiling, pressure cooking, slow cooking, and promote formation of these harmful compounds and make your meal more and much healthier. Although we can still enjoy occasional grilled and roasted meal, but make sure you're taking more of the boiling, deep boiling, and others. Number 13. Normalize taking adequate vitamin D supplements. Try to take enough vitamin D and omega to assist your immune system. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin that is very important for bone health and proper functioning of your immune system. In fact, every cell in your body is a receptor for vitamin D, indicating its importance. Vitamin D is found in very few foods. Yeah, that's why a lot of people are not taking enough, or some people are not even taking it at all, because you can only find them in few foods. So you can only find them in few foods, and the few foods are like fatty seafood. They have high component of omega-3s, which is responsible for delivering rich health benefits for your heart, brain, lungs, and circulation, which will aid your daily living and much, so that you can respond to stimulus faster. Lean fish like catfish and other fishes can also help you to build all this immune, and they're well packed with less fatty acid. Number 14, eat fresh berries instead of dry ones. So berries are very healthy and packed with nutrient, fiber, antioxidants. Most varieties can be purchased, and the dry ones, they're very more, they have high sugar content. So I would advise you to take fresh berries instead of dry ones. So the summary of what we've been talking so far. is on maintaining healthy diets. Like I said earlier, we don't want to just focus our life on blockchain research, analysis, and the likes. We want to make sure we have an healthy life and we are enjoying our life. Not that you'll be having a stomach pain or you are an ulcer, probably an ulcer B on ulcer C patients, and you are having a stomach pain and you are still trying to analyze the market or check what the project is going on. You have to take care of yourself, work on yourself, and make sure you're very okay. A healthy diet helps you protect against malnutrition in all of the forms, as well as non-communicable disease, including such as diabetics, heart disease, stroke, and cancer. So you will notice that a lot of people used to say like parents should breastfeed their children. So breastfeeding fosters healthy growth and improves cognitive development and may have longer term health benefits, such as reducing the risk of becoming overweight or obese and developing NCDs later in life, which is also one of the healthy dietary practices. Energy intake should be in balance with energy expenditure, like percentage in is must be equal to percentage out. One should not be greater than each other. So avoid unhealthy weight gain. Total fats should not exceed 30% of your total intake energy. Intake of saturated fats should be less than 10% of the total energy intake. If you need this page, you can take a screenshot or message me at the end of the presentation so that I can send the page to you. 1% will shift the fat consumption away from saturated fat and trans fats to unsaturated fat towards the goals of eliminating industrial products, trans fats. Limiting intake of free sugar, like I said earlier, to less than 10% of total energy intake is part of the healthy diet. Further reduction to less than 5% of the total energy intake is suggested by additional health benefits. I got this from World Health Organization. Keep salt intake. If you are keeping salt intake to less than 5 grams per day, equivalent to sodium intake is less than 2 kg, 2 grams per day. It helps with preventing hypertension. I don't know, probably you've heard about the adage like too much consumption of salt causes hypertension. So that will reduce you to that will reduce you in getting heart disease or stroke. The WHO Health Organization stated that and have agreed to reduce the global population intake of salt by 30% in 2025. They have also agreed about the rise in diabetics and obesity in adults and adolescents, as well as in childhood overweight by 2025. So this comes to the end of the workshop, and I hope with this we'll be able to improve our health condition by taking an healthy diet. Then, so once you wake up in the morning, can have a piece of egg or 2 pieces of egg for your breakfast. Then in the afternoon, probably want to take a brunch or your lunch. Make sure you take your grain first. You can take water 20 to 30 minutes before eating. After that, you can take your grains. Then after taking your grains, then have your main meal. Then don't rush your main meal. Make sure you are taking it gradually. You don't need to rush the main meal. Then make sure you're taking water after your meal instead of your beverages or drink. can take beverages or drinks, but make sure you reduce your beverages and milk and try to use water more. By using water more, I've explained what that one will take. Then in the night, you should know that in the night you should not eat something heavy. You should just take something light. You can even take fish for your dinner. And that means if you are taking fish for your dinner, that means you are taking enough vitamin. And with that, and if you are not washing your milk, you're taking fish for your dinner, that means you are taking enough protein on daily basis. You are taking enough water on daily basis. You are taking enough grains on daily basis. You are reducing your calories. Then make sure the oil you are using to cook is based on what I said earlier. So if you are doing that, believe me, there is no way you can get obesity. There is no way probably stroke can come to your side, and make sure you have an healthy feeding habits. So once again, I'm Latsan, covalent alchemist.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lassan or Abdulateef. I know you have a couple questions from the audience, both in the Q&A section as well in the chat if you want to take them.
Okay, I'm checking that right now.
Super informative.
How many eggs do you recommend to eat daily? If you're taking egg for breakfast, I'll say you can just take 2 eggs. Taking 2 eggs and taking water, that means you are good for the day. And with that, you have enough strength, you have enough internal strength, and your day will be more profitable. You have more time to do something tangible than eating meal in the morning and probably you just go to bed and sleep, and before you notice it's already 12 o'clock. So you can take 2 eggs in the morning. Which other question takes? I don't think there's any other question.
There's actually some questions in the Q&A, which I can read them to you. First, coming from Muhammad. Hi, how does a crypto inclined person stay fit? Some sit on their screens most of the time and eat on the go.
Can you please read the question again? I can't see it on my chat.
Yeah, it's not in the chat. There is a place on the bottom of the Zoom called Q&A right next to participants, and you'll be able to see those questions come in.
Okay, can you copy and send to me as a DM, please?
Yeah. Okay, I'll just copy them into the chat so it's easier. That's the first one.
Okay, someone that is crypto inclined, that's the major reason for this presentation. You can't tell me you're sitting 24 hours on your table and chair trying to analyze the market. It is not possible. You will get tired at a point. And you have to make sure what you're taking the best. So once you wake up in the market, once you wake up in the morning, it's not compulsory you go to your table and chair and start analyzing the market or check what's going on in the market. You can have a little bit exercise, then prepare your meal. You can just prepare 2 eggs, prepare a coffee, prepare your water, then with that you're okay. Then if you're starting, believe me, if you are sitting for 10 hours, 10 to 12 hours, you should stand up and take a break because of your back. So you should stand up and take a break. That's why some people will be like, that's the major reason of taking enough water. If you're taking enough water, there is no way you'll be standing up to ease yourself. And with that, you are taking break while you're sitting down, and with that, you'll be able to exercise your back, and your back will be more flexible. Then for your lunch, I told you, as I discussed earlier, I said you can take water before the meal first. After taking water, then take your greens. Then after taking your greens, there is no way you can't eat much again. You have to eat something little, and it will be more slower than the rate at which you consume. With that, you consume lesser food, and you'll be more prone you won't be prone to other diseases. Then in the night, just take something light and continue with your job. Then have a good night's rest. I think that's answered the question. How many cups? I think that answered the question, Jackie. Sorry, Jennifer.
Awesome. Yeah. So the first question, the second question, like how many cups do you recommend per day?
So water. Actually, I'm not recommending water in the morning. I'm recommending coffee in the morning. Then once you are done with your coffee, probably if you are still thirsty, can take a cup of water. Then depending on the cup size, can just take a cup of water. Then in the afternoon, when you're having your meal, take a cup of water before your meal. Then you take some greens. Then probably during the meal, you have another cup of water. Then after the meal, you have another cup of water. So that's 4 already. Then in the evening, you might be thirsty, so you can take another cup of water. Then while taking your dinner, a cup before the water, a cup before the food, a cup after the food. That's 7. Then probably if you are if you're taking your dinner around 6 to 7, then you might be sleeping by 10. You might be thirsty also. So 8 to 10 cups of water is enough on daily basis. For maintaining I need to take diet pills also. I think they answered that. So the next question, for maintaining a diet, is it advisable to take diet pills also? The only pill that I will recommend for you to take is probably if you are being attacked by a disease. So you can take pills that will aid your immune system to make your immune system more stronger. But under normal condition, you should not take any pills, because believe me, if you are taking your fruits, if you are taking enough vitamin D, if you are taking omega 3 what you want to get from these pills, you've gotten from all these things already. If you are taking enough berries and you are taking them fresh, you are taking your greens, you've gotten what you need from the pills already. And the pills, most of the pills, they are being processed. They've had a lot of things already. So taking your natural pills, your foods are your pills, so take them being natural. So the next question, won't that be too much of caffeine? Caffeine, I think you're just taking coffee once in a day, and it might not even be every day, and that's in the morning. So, and I said you can add sugar to it and milk based on your tastes. So if you're taking it once in a day and it's not every day, you will burn it. Believe me, you will burn it. So that's not too much. I think that's all.
Yeah, I don't see any other questions in the question and answer and in the chat. Does anyone else have any other questions? Just put them in the chat, or you can also raise your hand. We'll also let you be able to speak as well.
Okay.
Give everyone a minute. Latson, thank you so much for the thorough presentation. I also learned a lot about how to maintain better lifestyle for myself as well. I'm also a developer, so I sit all day, so I'll be taking more breaks thanks to you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Because
Actually, I
there is an adage which says health is wealth. So if the health is not there and you have enough money which you are making from the blockchain, you won't enjoy the life. You won't enjoy yourself. So what's the point?
agree. Definitely taking breaks and making sure that I enjoy myself. It's hard though, because there's so much going on in the blockchain space. It's hard to not want to sit in your computer and just learn about it all.
Yeah. So do we have any other question, please? I think that's all for today, Jennifer.
Awesome. I think so as well. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for attending the Maintaining a Healthy Diet workshop. We'll be posting this workshop on YouTube in the next couple of days. But if you have any more questions, reach out to Les on using these communication methods, and we'll see everyone soon for the next workshop.
Thank you very much, Jennifer.
Thank you. Talk to everyone soon.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. We appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in.
Goodbye.